Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Princess Janet, and if this is your first time of listening to one of my videos, please like the video. It's going to encourage me to do more. And comment, ask questions, and please subscribe. Those three things are important. Today I'm going to be talking about relocation to United Kingdom through the study visa. Yeah, a lot of people want to japa from Nigeria and go to the greener pasture, which is very admirable. I encourage almost everybody to leave Nigeria. I know not everybody will be able to leave, but if you can, it's very good for you to leave and seek for a better future for yourself, for your unborn children and your born children. Anyone, just go out there. So today I'm going to be discussing about UK study visa, which is one of the method of relocating outside Nigeria. So I'm going to be going through the step-by-step process of getting your admission, your visa, and moving here. The first thing on the list is getting admission to one of the schools in UK. We have several schools in UK, a lot of schools, like a business here. You have a lot of schools, so you have a lot of options to go through or to pick from. And one thing about UK admission, one good thing about it, one of the advantages, that you don't need to pay for admission process. You can apply to as many as 10-15 schools without paying a dime, and then you can then decide to choose which is the best school you want to go to. But you don't need to go through that stress of applying to 15 schools. The first thing you need to do is decide which course you want to do. It's important for you to pick a course that is on the shortage list, a course that you're going to get a job as soon as possible. There are people that even get jobs before they graduate from school here. A lot of people, they get jobs or sometimes placement or internship before they even graduate. So you need to pick a course that is hot kick, a course that you're going to get a job as soon as possible. So you check the shortage list for that and decide on which course you want to do. And when you decide on that, then you can search for the schools that are offering the courses that you're interested in, or the course that you're interested in. And then it's also important to pick a school with a low tuition fee. Most of the schools, the lowest school fees I've seen so far is maybe like 8,000 pounds, 8,000 ish. University of Hull, there's some courses that are like 8,000, 9,000, 11,000, and like that. And that's because University of Hull, I think they started like last year or 2 years ago, that the international fee and the fee for the citizens, the UK citizens and residents, are the same. So their school fees is very low. It's like one of the lowest. So you need to look for schools with low tuition fee, because pounds is a very, very, how would I call it now? It's a strong currency, especially when you convert it into naira. So you converting naira to pounds would be a lot. So you need to choose a school that has a low tuition fee. And apart from just choosing a school that has a low tuition fee, you have to also check the payment plan for the school. There are some schools that you will see 18,000 pounds is the school fees. They might give you some discounts, 5,000 naira, 5,000 pounds discount, and then the deposit, which is what you pay after you get admission, before you get the document you use to process your visa. Some deposits may be 2,000 pounds, which is low. Some is as high as 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. That's another thing you should consider based on the amount of money you have at hand to process your study visa. So when you consider the tuition, consider low tuition, consider low deposit if you don't have a lot of cash at the beginning, and then consider the payment plan if you don't have a lot of cash. There are people that can pay the tuition fee, like everything 100%, even from Nigeria. We have people like that. But if you're not one of those, if you don't have that kind of fund, then look for all these three that I've said: low tuition fee, low deposit, and low and good payment plan. A school that will allow you to pay the remaining in installmental, probably every month, or in 7 installments. Don't go for schools that will ask you to pay 50% after enrollment, which means once you arrive in UK, you have to pay 50%. It's as good as saying you should pay the whole tuition fee. If you don't have that kind of money, then don't go for such school. There are some that will say by November, and then January you have to pay the remaining school fees 2 times. It might be very difficult for you to pay that. So go for schools that have installmental payments that you'll be able to pay every month or every 2 months, as the case may be. It's very important. So after applying to this school and getting an admission, and you've decided on which one you want to do, there are some schools that will give you conditions. We have conditional offer, we have the unconditional offer. The unconditional offer means you've met all condition. You have I can say you have the full admission. You have nothing to worry about. The next thing is for you to pay the deposit and get your cars. Why there are some schools which will first give you the conditional offer, which means there are some conditions for you to meet. Sometimes it might be the English proficiency, sometimes it might be ATA certificate for those in engineering, and sometimes it might be your showing proof of fund. Yeah, there are some schools that ask you to show the proof of fund in your account, which is the amount of money for your remaining tuition after you pay your deposit, and then for your living cost for a year in UK. So you might need to show that before they can give you the certificate, which is the CAS. So when you meet all these conditions and you have the unconditional offer, the next thing is to get your CAS, and the CAS is what you use to apply for your visa. UK study visa is point based. So when you have all the required documents, you have the CAS, you meet the English proficiency, and you have the fund in your account to show that yes, you can sustain yourself in UK and you can afford your tuition. It's as good as 100% guarantee that you will get your visa. Yes, it has a UK study visa have a very high success rate. Let me say that here. It has a very good success rate, unlike Canada and USA. That is, I can say, it's based on luck. And then another thing about UK study visa is that you can go with your family. Yeah, as far as you have the fund, it's capital intensive, yes, but you can go with your family if you're going for a postgraduate course, not an undergraduate. If you're going for an undergraduate course, you will not be able to go with your family, your dependents. And when I mean family, we're talking about like your husband or your wife and your children. Those are the only people that qualify as your dependents, not your sister, not your nephew, not your niece, and not your parent, just your spouse and children. Okay, so after getting the admission, you've met all the conditions that you need to meet. You've gotten your CAS, probably you showed proof of fund to get that, and you've already paid your deposits. Most times you need to pay your deposit before you get your CAS, unless you have a scholarship, a full scholarship, or a partial scholarship. If you have that, then you might not need to pay deposit before you get your CAS. So after getting your CAS, the next thing is to book your tuberculosis test. There are 2 places where you can do that: in Nigeria, in Lagos, and in Abuja. That's IOM, International Organization of Migration. I hope I'm right. Yeah, IOM. So you go to their website and then you book online for the test. Everybody that is applying will have to do that test, both the main applicants and the dependent. If you have dependents, even if you have children, they have to also pay and go for the test. It's very important. If you are going to stay in UK for more than 6 months and you're coming from Nigeria and some other countries, you have to do the tuberculosis test. So you book for that. And then after that, you need to make sure your proof of fund is already in the account. It has to be in the account at least 28 days before you print your bank statement and use it to process your visa. Same thing applies if your school is requesting for proof of fund before they can give you your CAS. It has to be in your account 28 days prior to the time you print it. And it's important that when you print your bank statement for your POF, do not allow you to show a huge amount of money. Before UK, they don't really care about where you got the money from, unlike Canada, where you have to provide a sponsorship letter or a gift of deed, blah blah blah. But UK doesn't really care about that. But now, with some people's negligence and ignorance, there are some cases where they can ask you to provide or to prove where you got the money from. To avoid such cases, when you want to print your proof of fund bank statement, don't allow the bank statement to include the deposit of a very huge amount of money. Make sure that a huge amount of money or whatever that you want to use to process your visa has been deposited before the 28 days you're going to print for the visa application. And then within the time you're waiting for your bank statement to mature, make sure you also transact debits and credits deposit in your account. Don't just leave it blank and don't be waiting for 28 days before you print. Make sure you make transactions, different transactions, both credit and debit transaction in the account. And so when you have your bank statement, you have your TB test, you have your admission letter, then you're ready to apply for the visa. Yes, everything you need to know about UK study visa and UK in general is on their website at www. Is it gov.uk or uk.gov? I'm not really sure right now, but I'll drop it in the description of this video so that you can go there and navigate through the website and see first-hand information. The price for the visa usually takes 15 working days. That's the standard visa, 15 working days. Sometimes it can go higher than that. It can take longer than 15 working days sometimes. But if you want your result to be as fast as possible, there's what we call priority visa. You pay more, you pay 220 pounds extra apart from the normal visa fee that you pay, and then you can get your result in 5 working days. And then if you want your result in just 1 working day, that is a super priority visa, you pay I can't really remember now, almost 800 pounds extra. So if you have the money and you can't wait, you don't want to go through the high blood pressure of waiting on your visa decision, you can decide to pay for probably the priority visa at the 220 pounds extra and get your visa decision in 5 days. And I'm telling you, if you do not make any mistake in your visa application, there is a very, very high chance that you're going to get your visa. And then if you're married, you also need your marriage certificate. Basically, you don't need to have your name changed as a woman before you can prove that you're married to someone. What you need is your marriage certificate. But if you've changed your name, then you need your marriage certificate. You need the publication, the newspaper publication that shows that you've changed your name. And then for your children, if you're coming with your children, you're going to need their birth certificate. And then also, additionally, for families, you can also include pictures, wedding pictures you guys took together at occasions. You can include it in your application to just prove that you guys are really, really family, or you guys are really, really husband and wives, and you're united together. Then some of the documents you also used for your admission should also be included. If you use your WIAC to prove your proficiency of English, you can also include it in your visa application. There's enough space for you to upload backup documents that can prove, or that can that your visa officer or whosoever is processing your visa will need. It's important that you put all necessary documents instead of them to send back. So it's important to put all necessary documents, because sometimes if your application is not straightforward, you can get a non-straightforward email. We call it NSF email, which means that your visa application might take longer time from the 15 working days. Sometimes even if you pay for priority, which is supposed to take 5 working days, if you get that non-straightforward email, it's going to definitely take more than 5 working days. It can even take more than 15 working days, which means your money, your 220 pounds extra you paid, will probably just be a waste. So to avoid that, include all the necessary documents that proves, or that you think your visa officer will need. And I've mentioned them: your CAS, your English proficiency, your proof of fund, if you're married, your marriage certificate, pictures, wedding pictures, family pictures together, your children's birth certificate. If you're going along with your children, then you need a consent letter from the other partner that confirms or shows that yes, they know that you're going with the children and they agree with it. So you need that. And then what other things you need? Reference letter, you can include that too. Reference letter, academic reference letter, or the professional reference letter, you can include that. And everything being equal, you're gonna get a visa and you will be in United Kingdom soon, like very soon. And if you're planning to come to UK this September, this is really the best time for you to start applying. Some schools application are closed already, like University of Hull, the one I talked about with very cheap tuition fee. Application is closed for this year already, very very closed. You can't get any admission at University of Hull. Well, not for all courses, but for some of the courses it's closed for data science and artificial intelligence, for example, admission is closed. But for some other courses, I believe admission is still open, so you can check them out and no, do it. And the visa application for UK study visa is really, well, I won't say it's completely straightforward, but most of the information you need to know about it is online. Although like I'm sharing with you now, some of the information is what I'm sharing in this video. There are a lot of information out there. If you have question, ask. You can do the visa application yourself, yes, if you have the time and you confident enough. And if you're not, you want someone to do it for you, it's also fine. You can get an agent to do that for you. Just make sure such an agent is reliable and trustworthy, and as trustworthy and reliable as they can be. Don't just leave your application and your visa application into their hands without you also following it up, because this basically is like your life in quotes. So you should also follow it up. You should also how will I put it, be involved in your application. Don't just be totally uninvolved or totally absent. So try and be involved in whatsoever the agent is doing. Let the agent carry you along. Make sure you tell the agent from the start he or she has to carry you along, and make sure they do, because you're paying them and they should do what is of your best interest. So that will be all for today. If you have any other question about UK visa application that I probably did not mention or have forgotten, you can drop it in the comment section, and definitely I will answer your question. Or if it's something that is very, 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 how would I call it, something that I can't just type, I might probably just do another video about it and make more explanation about it. Yes, so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, this is not the best time to subscribe. Thank you, and like and drop your comments like I said.